Hey guys, welcome back to my tutorials. If you've been watching my previous videos, I showed you that how we can manipulate text in a paragraph, in a list, in any general, any paragraph or any piece of text ever. So I showed you how we can change the font, how we can change the font color, and how we can change the font size. Now in today's tutorial, I'm going to be moving on from that. I'm going to be showing you how we can start to make tables and how we can start to input text into those tables, and accordingly then we can start to add images into it, we can add hyperlinks into it, we can add whatever we want into it. In the next video I'm going to be showing you how we can start to manipulate the tables a little bit more. So let's get stuck in. The first thing we have to do is we have to make a tag called table. Now this is how we will start to make our table, and as always you need to close the table tag. So all the data will be going within here. Okay, now within here, all tables consist of row and columns. Okay, and so effectively, just like in Excel or just like in Word, when we need to make a table, it's made of row and columns, and they're individually separated. The first thing we have to do is we have to make a table row. So we're going to have this called table row. Okay. And this particular row will consist of, let's say, 3 columns. So we're going to have column 1, column 2, and column 3. Once we have made our table row, we need to figure out how we're going to put data onto our row. Now, a table consists of different columns. However, there is no formal tag for table column. The way we have to do this is we have to say TD. Now what TD means is it means column data, or something like that, I guess. But that's how that's kind of how I remember it. And with TD, we're going to be putting things into the different rows. So for example, we can call this one column 1, and then we're going to close the tag. Then we're going to say TD again. Now what you can see here is I've made 3 columns, so I'll call this one column 1, column 2, and column 3, and this is represented using the tag TD. Now just like a list, when you're making any kind of list, you're going to open the tag, and when you've finished writing it, then you can close the tag off. So this is all going to be within my first row. And once you've finished the row, just like in a list, you're going to end the table row, so end TR. Save, and let's open up the hello.html document. As you can see here, it's now got column 1, it's now got column 2, and in column 3. What I'm going to also do quickly is just make something called another piece of table data, which will be called row 1. Let's say I wanted to have another row now. So this here, this particular first bit is my first row. All I have to do is basically copy and paste the same thing if I want to have another row, except this one will be called row 2. So if I save this and now open up my HTML, then now I've got 2 proper rows of data. As you can see here though, there is no border around the table, and as you normally see in all tables, they normally have got boxes around them to separate the pieces of data from each other. We can leave it like this, however, as everything is invisible, you can't really see it, and it doesn't really look very nice. So in order to change this, we're going to, in our table, we're going to add something called a border. So we're going to say BORDER, and that's going to be equal to 1 pixel. So we've got the attribute called border, and that's 1 pixel thick even. Now, and save this, now if you go onto hello.html, you can see that everything has been boxed. So the whole table has been boxed first of all, and second of all, the table row and columns have also been boxed. So now they've all got a border. So now this is how we've started to develop our full-on table. Now moving on from this, we're going to start to add in some pictures. I want to have 3 different columns. So in my first row, I want to have 3 headers. And so if I save this and open this up again, as you can see, it's called row 1. I've got dog, cat, and lion respectively. Now in my second row, I want to start to input some pictures into this. All I'm going to be doing is exactly the same process as I would add an image normally. So I'd say image, so img src, and that's going to be equal to the direct path of where my image is going to be stored. So if I go to my terminal and I find where my image is stored, it's called dog2. And if I just paste this in, now what you can see here is I have made my image source, I found the exact path of my source, and I've closed off the tag. So if I save my document and open up my hello.html, as you can see here, I've now got my beady-eyed little husky puppy. Similarly, all I'm going to be doing is doing the same thing to add in more pictures for column 2 and column 3 and replacing them with the images that I want. As you can see, I have now inputted my first image, my second image, and my third image. So this one is like my cat and this one is my lion. And these are in their 3 separate columns. Okay, so if I save this and open up my hello.html, now as you can see here, I've got my dog, my kitten, and my picture of a lion. Okay, so that's how we have now initially created a table which has got different rows, different pieces of text, as well as images which will go in the corresponding places. In my next video, I'm going to start to go through how we can start to style tables, and then how we can start to style each individual column or row, or each individual cell to make them a bit more different. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful, and if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave a message down below or message me on my website. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.